It can be said that there are a number of reasons for pupils wishing to return to school after the 5th year. Some use the 6th form as a stepping stone to further education, such as universities, colleges and polytechnics. Some hope to leave school in 2 years equipped with A-levels to begin their working career. Others return to school to better their O-level results.
Sunshine, goodbye rain. She's wearing my school ring on her chain. She's my steady, I'm her man. I'm gonna love her all I can. Stays on to be mine. Stays on to be mine. Gonna cruise her around the town, show everybody what I found. Rock and roll with all my friends, hoping the music never ends. Stays on.
Llanrumney High School was opened in 1957 as two separate secondary modern schools, one boys' school and one girls' school, which can be seen in the centre of the picture. During the 60s, two larger buildings, Building 1 and Building 4, were added, and then in 1970, as a result of the Labour government's educational policy, it became a mixed comprehensive school under the headmastership of Mr. H.A. Sace. Although the school has been open 20 years, the sixth form has only been in existence for the last 4. Educational policy. At 10 to 9 the school day commences. Pupils come from all parts of Llanrumney, as well as a small number from Pentoyn, who come by private coach. Although lessons don't begin until 9:20, all pupils have to attend registration first to get their mark. The sixth form is split into 4 registration groups, one in each of the 4 buildings. The idea behind this is that the sixth form won't become isolated from the rest of the school. Here we see Mr. Winston Jones with his upper 6th group. As we can see, registration is less formal in the sixth form than lower down the school, and the tutor is always there to help out with any problems the sixth former may have. Mr. Jones is renowned to be particularly helpful in this field, and as a result is held in great esteem by all members of the sixth form. After registration, everyone makes their way to Building 4 for morning assembly. Morning assembly provides a good opportunity for the headmaster and other members of staff to come into contact with the sixth form. And when the religious part of the service is over, there is a chance to discuss day-to-day matters, today with a head girl, Deborah Cross. Now the serious work begins, and for this particular group, it is an A-level economics lesson with Mr. Colin Isaac. The school week is divided into 40 lesson periods, each lasting 35 minutes. Each A-level subject needs 8 lessons a week, so the average sixth former, taking 3 A-levels, uses at least 24 lessons, plus any minority subject he may be taking. Any free lessons are assigned to private study. Also, of course, he is expected to carry out approximately 20 hours of homework per week.
So the cost of keeping the price down is the loss of Q1, Q2. Everything happy with it? Yeah. If you can make it
We've taken this opportunity to have a few words with Mr. Isaac. Mr. Isaac, what do you think are the major differences between teaching a lower school and a sixth form group?
Well, I think the major difference would be the more relaxed atmosphere. The students are there because they want to be there, and therefore there are few, if any, discipline problems, and the work can continue in a freer, more relaxed atmosphere.
And the classes are much smaller.
And the classes are much smaller.
I've often heard you refer to as Isaac a trip. How did this come about?
Well, it originated by taking a sixth form trip to London, going to the Stock Exchange and the Houses of Parliament, and developed from there, taking trips outside school hours, going bowling and ice skating. And I think it's an ideal opportunity for students and staff to get to know each other a lot better.
Thank you very much, Mr. Isaac. Meanwhile, in another corner of the school, a physics practical lesson is in progress. We're now going to talk to Mr. Hicks, head of Llanrumney's physics department. Mr. Hicks, there seems to be in use here quite a lot of complicated equipment. How well is the school facilitated in the science department?
Very well indeed. Despite fairly stringent financial situation at the moment, we managed to get, over the years, a fair degree of apparatus together, as you can see from the equipment out on the bench now. And there's not a great deal that we can't do in the way of practical work at any level in the school.
What sort of success rate has the science department in general been having over the past few years?
Well, in general, excellent. There have been years when we've had the best results probably in the whole of Wales in science. You see, we get years where perhaps the success rate is not what we would like, but on the whole, excellent.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hicks.
Thank you.
At 10:30, the whole of the school has a 20-minute break. Many choose to spend their time in the common room playing darts, or simply listening to the stereo cassette, which was donated by the PTA. Some, of course, have prefect duties to perform. We've just been talking about prefect duties, and we have with us here the head boy and head girl of Llanrumney High School, Paul Duggan and Deborah Cross. Surely one of your most unpleasant tasks is to chase up people to do their duties. What are your other major tasks, Paul?
We take assembly once a month, and perhaps the most traditional view of head boy and head girl are the speeches on prize day which you have to perform, and also we're on the sixth form council.
I was going on to mention that actually. What does the council do, Deborah?
Well, it's a democratically elected council which sits perhaps twice in a week, and we discuss issues which have been brought up in the common room. The major one that we've passed this year has been when the exams. They were originally in December, but we managed to get them changed to March.
So anyone who's got any grievances about the sixth form can come forward?
Yeah.
I see. So we've covered some of the best aspects of life in the sixth form, but what do you consider the drawbacks are coming back to the school?
Well, sometimes we come to decisions in the sixth form council which we think are quite important, and obviously they can be vetoed by the staff. This is one point that it's a bit disheartening sometimes.
For example, the issue of smoking. A couple of the other schools, sixth forms, are allowed to smoke, whereas none of them are.
I see. What about free time?
Yeah, this is another thing that was vetoed by the admin staff. We wanted that any time people had PS, he could go in the common room and use his time there. But this has been vetoed, and a system whereby you can only spend 2 lessons a week has been introduced, which is one thing that we didn't want, but it's been vetoed by the staff.
What do you say about the idea of going home during your free lessons and not staying within school boundaries?
Well, actually, that's one thing I agree with, staying in school. I think it's only fair that you've got lessons
Yeah, it's
and
about
free
lessons.
lessons, but this comes down to the free time again. If people, I think, were allowed to use their free time more freely, then perhaps they would stay in school. And I think this is why they go home.
Although you accept the headmaster's view that the school
There's lots of responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yes, I accept that view. I think it's only fair.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Mr. Maiden, you took over as headmaster at Llanrumney in January of 1977 after the retirement of Mr. Sace. There's been quite a lot of discussion about education for the 16 to 19-year-olds lately. What do you think of sixth form colleges? Do you consider that sixth form as a financial burden on the school?
I don't think the sixth form is a financial burden, but there are arguments for a sixth form college. But I took over the 11 to 18 school, and I'm committed to the 11 to 18 school. The sixth form is a good influence in the school, because we're talking about you personally, or we hope it is anyway. It's also the climax of an educational process that I think goes on for 7 years and not just 5. I know a lot of children leave school at the end of their 5 years when they've done their O-levels, but the sixth form education, either for training, for occupations or for university, is such an integral part of school life that I'd hate to see it disappear. You've got a healthy aged badge on. It'd be awful if that disappeared. The sixth form is an influence in the school for good, it's an influence on the children for good, and I think it does the staff good in their lower school teaching to know that they have to keep up to date with major developments in their own subjects in order to teach A-level, and that is going to have an effect upon the lower school. There are arguments, I know, in favour of FE colleges. Probably the greatest argument in favour of them is the freedom that you would have as sixth formers. And perhaps we could come on to that as a separate issue.
Can you see any way of creating a free atmosphere in the school for the sixth form?
Yes, there are certain things that I could do. Obviously, I think if you're that important in the 11 to 18 school, then you deserve some kind of privileges and responsibilities, to go with the responsibilities. You've asked to have lessons off and be allowed to go home. I've investigated that possibility, but as far as I can see, I've got a legal obligation to look after you since you're entrusted to my care for the whole of the school day. But one tries in all kinds of ways to make the life of the sixth former different from that of the first to fifth formers, because you are young adults. Now, one of the big advantages of FE, as I've said to you, is that you can come and go at any stage in a much freer atmosphere. You can ride your motorbike, smoke your cigarettes and drink your beer perhaps in some of them. But I've always got to bear in mind that I have got 11-year-olds, and I've got, therefore, in the school to make certain that everybody behaves in a responsible manner. But I'll have a look at any suggestion you like to give me in any way that I think is satisfactory for you while not interfering with the education of the younger ones. I appreciate, and all my staff do, quite sincerely, the work that the sixth formers do to help us run the school, the example that they set, and I would like to see within the confines of your academic work a freer atmosphere. If it can be personal, you're attempting to go to university, sure you'll succeed. Engineering, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't think you or your parents would like it if I gave you a carte blanche to do exactly what you like in school. You've made a choice to come back here, your parents have approved of it, we've approved of it, and I think your first priority is to work and then to enjoy yourself. And from what I heard at lunchtime, you enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mealing.
Thank you, I'm delighted to speak to you. Thank you.
One of the highlights of the Sixth Form Week is the visit on Friday afternoon to the National Sports Centre, where pupils are given the opportunity to participate in a number of different sports, including badminton, table tennis, squash, swimming, shooting and archery. There is also the opportunity to take courses on sailing in Llanishen Reservoir, rowing at Llanrumney Rowing Club and horse riding at Pontcanna Park.